Hello, everybody. Hello, judges. My name is Evan, and I'm representing Canoe. I am a core contributor here. And as you can see, we want to bring DeFi to all users' fingertips and become the one-stop shop for all metaverse gamers. Now, we are submitting our V2 product for the Solana Summer Camp. However, I think it's very integral for me to explain our V1 product so that you have a more holistic picture of what we do here, and as it's very integral and conducive to the V2 delivery. So Canoe fundamentally tries to solve three issues that is continuously faced in the gaming industry. Number one is that there's simply way too much time being spent to create a token economy for all these games. 2 to 4 months is the average. And our philosophy is that we're trying to create an economy when we're making a metaverse? No, we're trying to make an experience. We're trying to create mass adoption by virtue of people actually wanting to play the game, not for the earning potential, which that should be a component. But the main part is that people want to have fun. I play games all throughout my life. And it's very difficult for me to see that these projects coming out are orienting themselves with an economy rather than an actual game. Like, I don't log on to something like Minecraft, for example, to try and mine stuff for economic value. I'm trying to play Minecraft because I want to build houses and stuff, right? So we want to solve that issue, and we have solved that issue with this all-in-one integration with DeFi activity being enabled with just a few lines of code. The second issue is that, like I said before, when I want to play a game, I just want to play a game, right? I don't want to go to an exchange and set up an account. I don't want to go through the KYC process. I don't want to go transfer the assets to my wallet that I have to set up before. I don't want to have to wait 2 days for the exchange to approve my account so that I can transfer funds. And I don't need to do that with Canoe, because all I have to do is to just swap with an internal wallet, swap whatever I have or buy whatever I have with a credit card, and then play the game, right? There's no reason for there to be this requirement of language, crypto language, and crypto native processes for these games. It's meant for everybody, right? You don't play, again, I'm gonna use Minecraft. You don't play Minecraft and like have this expectation that you know how to do everything, right? You can literally not have heard of it before and play the game. And the third problem is that there's a very high barrier to entry, which deters a lot of people from actually playing games, which is, sometimes you have to spend a lot of money, like with fees, to buy an NFT, to buy a token. And, a lot of people don't have that, right? So like Canoe uses their AMM theory to provide low slippage and low capital thresholds for users to buy whatever they want. And obviously this is up to the discretion of the project, but we think that with the economic game theory that underlies the project, choosing the transaction fees, that there should be little to nothing. And sorry, I'm just gonna adjust. Yeah, I can't use my mouse, but I'm not sure if my face is here, but it was kind of obstructing my view. Anyway, so why now? Why do we create Canoe now? Why didn't it come before the maker, come after Ethereum, or after the metaverse is developed fully? Well, as we all know, Bitcoin came first with the peer-to-peer payments, and then Ethereum came with the enablement of DeFi. But then we just went to the metaverse, right? We straight up just thought that this is a separate industry. This is a separate paradigm that we're trying to create, not regarding the previous things that come before it, but everything that has come before it has been linked together. It's not mutually exclusive, and that's why we're seeing so many issues right now with the games not being fun. The token and the customer process is just so arduous and tedious for people to figure out. There's nothing in between to mediate the process of using DeFi and metaverse, which is required, right? So before I get into the V2 product, this is the problem that we seek to actually solve, right? We're trying to bridge the gap between DeFi and the metaverse, because nobody is doing that currently, and our V1 product aims to solve that. And that is going to become very important when I explain V2, because our V2 and our main project that we're presenting to you today is our mobile game tailored SDK. Now, understand that everyone has there are more phones being used than people. Some people might not have phones, but a lot of people own multiple phones, right? And a lot of people will have phones just to play games. Like 90% of the screen time will be playing games. So you don't have to have a computer to be logging in and playing your game. You can literally use your phone. That's like the shift of the narrative that we were seeing. And that's why we realized that, okay, like a bunch of these games are not built on mobile and Unity because there's no SDK for it that is meant for what they want to do, right? And we want to change that. So we're building an SDK for casual games, right? We want to build the foundation of games first, and we can move on to the more nuanced games. And it's going to be Unity powered, and we're going to be trying to build this new infrastructure within the space and establish ourselves as the first people who are bringing an SDK catered to mobile games. And Canoe's mission is to bring upon mass adoption. We want to give the general public an entry to Web3 without even knowing that it's Web3, to use this product as if it was just another day, right? And we want to create this SDK to enable that kind of narrative for these people to come on and just think, oh, this is just another game, because it's built very smoothly, and underlying the entire infrastructure is Web3. So, like I said, we built this for the enablation, not sure if that's a word, of users to come and play this game, and those users not being Web3 native. But nobody's building in the mobile game market right now. And if they are games, they're quite honestly very terrible, borderline unplayable. Like, it would be a huge waste of time of your day to go play these games right now. And they're not fun. Simply, they're not fun. There's no earning potential either, because the fundamental objective of these games are usually to earn money, but you can't even earn money. Like, you can probably earn a few cents a day if you play all day, but like, you can't, right? I'm not going to bash any projects, but that's the case that we're in right now. And that means this market is entirely untapped, right? There's so much opportunity in the space, and we're just seeing it now. And that's why we're building this. And we also recognize that the games that I was just saying, like, they need help. They need better SDKs. They need better tooling. They need a better environment to create these games, to make it more fun, to drive more users, and for people to actually appreciate the games that are coming on Web3. Because look, guys, we're a team. Like, collectively, like, this entire sector is a team. We're trying to bring this to the general public to share the opinions that we have with them. And we obviously firmly believe that Web3 is for all people. But we can't allow that when the games that are coming out are just simply terrible, right? So we're trying to build this SDK and change that narrative. So why Solana, right? This might be like, this is up for debate, and our team has talked about this a lot, right? But Solana, on a very high level, we would say, is the chain of the people. And we know that people compete for block space on Ethereum, right? It's so expensive. And obviously with the merge coming, it might be a little bit different with the rollups. But right now, Solana is really the chain for the masses. And it really aligns with our mission, right? Because we're trying to bring the masses to Web3, and Solana is quite obviously doing that. And we think overall, to sum it up, it's efficient, it's stable, and it's cheap. So we don't think this is a bear market. We don't like the word bear market. We think that this is a build market. I feel like that's kind of copyrighted somewhere. But last October, we saw this huge economic boom of the metaverse industry. And now nobody cares, right? It's kind of sad, because some could say that the metaverse and gaming is what is going to allow Web3 to come to the masses. And we want to be able to help the projects who are trying to build for next cycle to flourish and bring back that narrative of gaming being like hype, I guess you can say. And we obviously, like I said before, want to be supporting projects right now that are struggling to implement whatever they need to do with their current SDKs. And we want to be able to change that. So our SDK, I guess I'll talk about the V1 a little bit first. We're going to introduce staking and DEXs and lending dependent on a game company, such as, NFT lending, NFT renting, being able to try the game without actually like paying anything yet by virtue of the staking being used in a pool. And we also want to be able to turn any in-game asset into NFT, existing or upcoming, right? If you are an existing game that is Web 2 and you want to enter into Web 3, you can integrate an NFT system for your current in-game assets. And we want to be able to authenticate Web3 wallets with its users for every person that signs up. Obviously, a lot more functionality and a lot more nuances to these, and we want to be able to tailor each solution, a Web3 solution, for each company that we're working with. So this is subject to change. And we can't just say these things, right, guys? We actually have something from our SDK, which is Canoe Warrior. As you can already kind of tell, this UX is beautiful, and it's very, very, it's oriented around its Web3 infrastructure. I had like 3 hours today of just playing this game, trying it out. Coming out in 3 days, it's fully built on Canoe, and we just wanted to prove that this works, and it does. So when we integrate with Solana, we realized that right now it's in beta, and we want to build infrastructure upon Solana so that when it fully reaches its potential, which may be years from now, we are already established, and our hypothesis was correct, that Solana is the chain of the people, and we can continue to build this by mutually beneficial relationship between us and Solana, so that we can either work with them to efficiently tailor our SDK and also work with Solana to kind of enable more efficient processes with the gaming sector. So V1 plus V2 is kind of a given now. It works in harmony with each other. It brings full developer service, and it's very easy to integrate. And when we integrate the gaming SDK, it's like a full package, right? No other third party needs to be involved anymore. You just need to build on Canoe and your game is done. That's it. Like if you just use everything that we give you and you want to build a game, you don't need to worry about contracting a contractor to build out your NFTs. You don't need to worry about hiring someone to build out your website with integration of tokens. Canoe already does that in your game, and it's all on your phone. There's no third-party wallets. There's no internal sign-up system. No KYC. It's all there. 2.6 billion people currently play games on their phone. 2.6 billion, and that's growing. These are 2021 numbers, and when we see this, we see an opportunity, right? Games are not like for children; they're for everybody, and we believe that if there's a fun enough game built on a good enough infrastructure and on a good SDK, people will play it. And this market is not limited to coming games. Like we said before, we want to help those who are existing and are struggling. So we want to shift the way that people are doing things and creating these games, existing and new. Our strategy for marketing is multifaceted. One is our AGA group, which I'll briefly go over. AGA is basically a guild alliance, which allows existing guilds that are playing on games to play the game, and each one of them has their own experience, which they can market on their own social media. And a lot of people in here actually have a great amount of followers. There's a lot of people here, to say the least, and it's going to be very organic in how we do it. And when we're doing this, when we're partnering with AGA, it's going to have direct feedback as well for us, and it will allow this mutual again, a mutually beneficial relationship between our SDK and them. They'll be able to play the games. We get some feedback. We also get some marketing as well. And we have a strong group of connections by virtue of working with AGA and just being able to express our ideas to different projects who know that we have something very powerful. And we will also be able to host hackathons, which allows different developers to build our SDK, which will further establish us in the space. Oh, I should be making this full screen. Okay, and other thing is these are goals, which is to incubate and help develop to our standard 10 casual games. And that's not saying that, we're going to be building these games. No, we're going to be helping people that have a vision, but we're going to optimize their vision. And obviously, we need to cooperate with other games to be able to help them build out their infrastructure and improve where things can be improved. And we also want to shift our brand a little bit. We want to be an SDK service rather than a DEX service, as our V1 product kind of allowed us to do. We want to be saying that, look, we're bringing infrastructure to protocols. We don't want to just be an SDK. We want to actually build things that are on chain and provide value on users because these games are fun. That's it. And it would be great to be a public chain recommend SDK GitHub account. And the business is not a business without a revenue model. This is our current model right now, where 50% of the positive slippage that comes out of any swap fees that come out of the DEX will come into our liquidity pool, which is managed by many executives. And this is why I mentioned before, if the integrator is using fees, we need to sign a contract and collect a percentage of that. Again, there is the option to just not charge any fees, which is probably what these integrators want to do, but it's not up to us. So anyway, if they do, we charge a fee. To illustrate the market size and opportunity for our V1 product and, obviously games to come, 3% fee, 30% royalty. It's all there, right? And to further establish us as, decentralized, even with the team, we're all around the globe. I'm from Canada. Some people are from USA, Dubai, China, Philippines, whatnot. We're all very diversified with different perspectives coming from different places. And that's how we can reach this beautiful consensus that is Canoe. And yeah, it's a little bit about us. And I'm going to end off this presentation by going through our website just a little bit, just to see, who we've been working with, the many connections that we have, and the partnerships that we have made with Pikeman. We also have published a research report on high capital efficiency by our AMM algorithm. Here's a little bit of our roadmap. And yes, that is it. Hopefully, let me stop sharing here. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. I hope that this finds you well, and I hope you help us bring DeFi and games to all users' fingertips.